All right, welcome to another episode from the Chart Reader. So these seem like recent runners, but they actually are viewer request videos here. We're going to take a look at MULN and MEGL here. Man, I feel like the internet always hates me when I say bad things about MULN, all right? I said if we lost $10, 10 cents, get ready to lose 20% and get to 8, all right? I then said if we lose 8, I wouldn't be surprised if we lost another 20% and hit 6.5 cents, basically 6.4. We legit hit 6.5. All right. I really wish this thing showed more decimals, but we actually lost basically like 19.5% after this '08. I'm telling you, I'm not here to talk shit about any stock. I'm not here to hate on any tickers, but like, I've seen this thing play out so many times across so many different stocks. And end of the day, I say it all the time. Bad things happen under the 8 and the 20, and even worse things happen under all-time low support. All right. So all that said, we'll get into the details shortly. But real quick, what are we going to do? Same thing we always do, right? We'll take a look at the daily and the weekly to see how this thing is setting up short term. We have our 5 moving averages, these horizontal support and resistance lines that I do draw manually myself, and then when we're done up here, we'll use the MACD, RSI, and volume as our lower indicators. Hey, really quickly, if you can please like this video, subscribe to the channel, share this thing, comment. Anything you can do really does help with the YouTube algorithms, but I swear, just being here and giving me your time is beyond appreciated, all right? And look, I'm not perfect, I'm not all-knowing, I got no idea what Monday's gonna do, so yeah, if you got better opinions than me, I'd love to hear them, okay? So let's get into it. And look, we'll talk about a couple good things on MULN for sure, all right? A 13 banger is an amazing single day gain, all right? We actually gain so much that we destroy the previous candle. That's always a really good thing for me, right? If it's a red especially, I definitely want to get over it. So at this point, there is a bunch of red that kind of makes you believe, hey, we might be coming back up to that 10-cent line right there. First and foremost, this 9 cent, I really wish I had more decimals. It sucks, right? But give or take, it's kind of aligning to the top of the 426 date, but it needs to get over this 8 moving average before I genuinely will believe we'll go to 10, all right? And again, 1 cent from 8 to 9 is a huge percentage. You can see it. 1 cent was a double digit, and I think 1 cent should still be a double digit, right? Because 8, I can't do the math right now. I'm not going to even pretend. But like, yeah, it's going to be a big movement for sure, right? So I am very, very realistic that 10 is probably going to be okay, I don't want to say it, but like, I think it's going to be really difficult to break 10. All right. Why? Because look at this 20 moving average line, the orange line. We have literally been struggling with this line to say the least, right? Open over it, but drop. Open over it, but drop. Open over it, but drop. Like this. And then from there, just never touching it, right? So I do think there's a good chance we go from 8 to 9. I think there's a good chance that we maybe wick it. I don't know if we'll close here, but I think we might see the 9 to 10 movement. From there, it's just all about the 20 moving average. Look, if we can break it, 10 to 14 is huge. I know it only looks like 4 cents and it seems pretty insignificant, but that's almost a 50 banger right there, right? So I personally would much rather trade this. But for real, if this thing opens well on Monday, I might consider a play here. Again, do I really think this is a hold and we're at the bottom and stuff like that? No, that's not what I'm here for. I'm not here pretending I know what the bottom's going to be or anything like that. However, I would be looking for a quick recovery, and then I'm telling you, I will very quickly hit eject if this thing doesn't do what it's supposed to do, all right? But we've been under the 8 and the 20 for a while, and in all honesty, it's not really like going horizontal as much as I would expect it by now, all right? Generally, you go down, horizontal, and either up or down, right? This thing's just kind of going down and then down, right? So it's a little interesting that this thing hasn't like stabilized a little bit, but we'll see what happens. Look, end of the day, what are we trying to find? We're trying to find the moment when we're above the 8 and the 20, the moment when we're above the 8 and the 20, right? And again, you might have a good one, then you hit eject, then you have a good one, then you hit eject, then you get a good one, right? Like that's how I would play MULN. MULN under the 8 and the 20, just it screams get away in my book. All right, that's my trading strategy. I'm not saying it's the best in the world, but yeah, there's definitely more to not like long term than like. But I gotta say this: look at the 50 average line. This thing's starting to go up. And that's important for MULN, who used to be the king of stocks, who used to be the #1 traded share almost every single day for what seemed like 3 years, right? Like MULN used to live in 700 million shares a day. MULN would hit a billion too, and it would really not seem crazy. You know what I mean? So like this 50 line going up is important. Obviously, it's a lot more selling than buying, which sucks, but getting volume on the right, like the right levels, I think is going to be really important for MULN to recover. All right. So watch the 8 and the 20, very much watch this 10-cent line. I just genuinely wish I had more decimals on this system. But again, the 426 date, the open is probably what you want to set your alert at if I was to give a suggestion. All right, let's take a look at the weekly real quick. Look, this is a shitty weekly. All right, it wanted to open at the 8. It wanted to go up. It actually opens over the 8 if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, look, it's the same number, 1212 again. I wish I had more decimals, but you can see it actually opens above the line and then just quickly dies, right? So you need to be over the 8 on the weekly to genuinely believe your daily is going to be good, right? If the weekly is saying the weekly chart's going to be bad, that genuinely means 3 out of the 5 days are going to be bad, or one horrible day will not be, equalized or beat by 4 good ones. So you need to believe the weekly is going to end well just to hope that the daily does good, right? So this is a bad weekly. For sure. It wanted to do good things. And hey, I'm glad we're at least testing the 8 line. But there's still a lot of work to genuinely believe this thing's going to sustain. However, I would look for a 20 banger right there. And then for sure, I would look for a 40, 50 banger if it hits, right? So just watch it. I'm for sure more bearish than bullish. Like, I'm not here saying good things, but yeah, if this thing moves up, try to jump in. And I'm telling you, if it looks like it's going to turn down, get out. My 2 cents, all right? Okay, MEGL. Obviously, I made a video this weekend that basically said, don't watch stocks like this, all right? Like, to me, trying to chase a 300 burger is just silly, all right? Believe me, there is no drug that will get you higher than making that kind of money on a single day, all right? I've never hit a 300 on a day, but I've hit some pretty high double digits, and holy shit, it feels good. I can only imagine what a 300 feels like, right? Like, I'm not trying to pretend I don't understand it. That said, this is not trading, right? Like, this is buying a lotto ticket and hoping you hit the 5 numbers plus the 1 mega, right? That said, look, the person that requested this actually said that he didn't, jump in here. He's been holding I don't know how long. And yeah, look, if you actually see where this played, it actually hits some lines that we talked about on the last time I hit this video, all right? And look, the level of technical analysis I'm going to give here is pretty weak, all right? Because look, we go from 6 million shares to 100 million shares, all right? We go from a real shitty MACD to a super positive MACD, a real shitty RSI to a 84 oversold one, right? Like, there's a bunch of crazy things that are going to happen when you drop this percentage, all right? End of the day, this is what I'm looking for, all right? First and foremost, if this thing opens under 388, I would be scared. All right. Now, look, we're looking at regular hours right now. I'll quickly flash it. This is what that shit looked like after hours. And that's not good at all. I genuinely say, don't worry about after hours. That's a pretty drastic one. And it's really hard to not worry about it. Right. So that said, all my analysis comes from regular hours, and 388 needs to hold. If we open under here, that's scary. If we open under here, that's even scarier, because from 303, the next place we go is 185. All right. There is really nothing to, maybe this 50% candle. I I'm not even going to, I took the top of you. That's the 303 line. Listen to me. If we lose 303, I'll say it again. I think it's going to be a real quick drop to 183. And again, I'm just going to flash it. We are under that line as of after hours, right? So let's see what pre-market does. Maybe it recovers a little bit, but the open matters way more than after hours or pre-market. And then the close matters so much more than the open, all right? We need to hold 388. That's basically the more, obviously we need to go up and go to 504 and break that and blah, blah, blah. This is a pretty textbook doji, all right? Big wick up, a lot of people thought we were gonna fly. Big wick down, a lot of people thought we were gonna die. End of the day, we pretty much open and close in the same place, and they all said the same thing. Let's wait for tomorrow. Let's see what, like, if you see a doji, generally speaking, you'll get one of two reactions the next day. Either one more doji, because again, people are too scared to make a move, or you will see a very, very drastic reality of the truth, either up or down. All right. So we're really, really looking for an extreme here. And the only way this thing goes up is holding 388. All right. Normally, I would say go 401 or higher. You generally want to open up and go. I think I'm going to put a little more weight on this support line because look, we're over all those moving averages, right? Where's the 200? 200 doesn't exist. We are over all five, in this case, all four moving averages. Theoretically, I always say it, over the moving averages where you want your money for sure, right? So and then look, I haven't said it yet, but volume needs to hold. All right, we had 100 million shares on Friday. If we drop to like 50 to like 20, that's going to be bad. All right, the crazy thing is, and again, I'll show it here. Top does what I just said was bad, but it still delivered 400 after the day. And like what I generally find is people will see a stock do a thing, and the expectation is mine's going to do the same thing. Top had a crazy, crazy triple digit followed by a crazy, crazy triple digit. Don't walk into a stock thinking to yourself, I just had one. If Top can do it again, I can do it again too. That's called chasing the dragon, all right? And like, oh man, I'm telling you, I've made those mistakes. I really wish I had a camera. You can like see the stupid smile on my face right now. Like, I remember those greedy days, baby. Like we're all the same kind of humans, all right? Some of us are raised a little different and all that, but we all got that monkey on our shoulder that says, let's turn our $5 into 500,000. Let's just add some zeros to the back of it, right? So, you know, I get it, but just be careful, be smart, and for real, one more time, don't chase the dragon. Don't try to get high on 300 bangers, all right? Because then you'll start to like lose interest in these 20 bangers that I'm telling you are what I call recent runners too, right? So, trade safely out there. I appreciate you guys so, so much. Thank you. Thank you.